All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another daily highlights video. I'm here with Dr. Stephanie Taylor, and today we are going to be going over particle size, airborne particle size, and what exactly it means for your building and for us as humans and occupants. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Stephanie, and she can take us away on this.
So hello, good morning, everyone. I hope you all had a good weekend. So today, Graham and I want to talk about how exactly do particles move through space, both in your building and in your own human body. So if you take a look at this slide, it shows that the smaller particles on the left, so 0.5 micrometers in diameter, stay in the air for a long time. So in this model, the tiny ones, 0.5, remain floating around and in your breathing zone, according to this study, 41 hours. We cannot directly extrapolate this study to COVID-19. So we're not saying that COVID-19 is in the air for 41 hours. But the point is that smaller particles remain in the air for significantly longer times than the larger particles or droplets. So by the time you get to the right-hand side of the slide, with a droplet at 100 microns in diameter, it settles out of the air onto surfaces very quickly. So this is relevant for indoor humidification because the smaller particles, the 0.5 micron, will attract water vapor molecules and glom together. So you'll have conglomerations of particles that will result in a larger size. And in addition to that, the particles that you exhale, the droplets that come out of your airways with 100 micron diameter, they don't shrink as rapidly to the 0.5 size. So when you have indoor humidification, you meet somewhere between 10 and 100 microns for your particle size. So why is this important? Well, in the next slide, you can see that larger particles will settle out of the airborne environment fairly quickly, whereas the smaller ones remain in the air both through turbulence, through resuspension from surfaces, and through just traveling through the ventilation system. Again, with COVID-19, the recommendation from ASHRAE is to bring in fresh air, but to balance out outdoor air ventilation with recirculating indoor air to maintain healthy humidity levels. And in the process of recirculating air, use filtration and use other technologies to help reduce the pathogen content. So the smaller particles will remain in your building and in your room in the breathing zone. And in the next slide, as we again talk about the particle, the movement of different sized particles. I'm just waiting for mine slide to switch. So it's not only that smaller particles travel differently in a building, but this slide is showing how deeply the tiny particles will settle in your own respiratory tract. So just based on the size of the particle and the diameter of your airways, you can see that the small particles, which is on the left of your x-axis, will have a higher concentration deposited in your alveolar spaces. So that, remember, your alveoli are the little tiny air sacs deep in your lungs where oxygen and carbon dioxide is actually exchanged in and out of your blood. So the alveoli are the tiniest spaces in your lungs. And you can see that the 0.01 micron particles, so that's what you would see more in dry air, are going to reach deeply into your lungs. And then as you move to the right on the x-axis, the larger particles, which you will see with humidification, they'll get trapped in your nose, your sinuses, your mouth, and don't have the opportunity to reach as deeply into your respiratory system. So what we've tried to cover here are the macroscopic view and the more personal view of how particles travel in a space, depending on their size, which is directly related to the humidity content of the air. And once again, that 40 to 60% sweet spot is what you want to aim for indoors to reduce infectious particles in your breathing zone. So hope that was clear.
Yeah, thanks, Stephanie, for clearing that up. I know we've talked about it quite a bit in the past, but it's nice to see it actually tied right into how deep it'll go within our system, depending on the size of those airborne particles. I want to remind everyone again that Stephanie and I are available for booking for webinars. Generally, what we have this available through our agent network. If you're not an agent, please reach out to your local rep, and they will be able to help you get this webinar going and organized for your area. But what we offer is a company branded invite. So we can have, in this case, we have SRS, our New York agent, as the invite list. And then we go for about 20 to 30 minutes of Stephanie talking about why humidify for occupants. Then we show about 10 to 15 minutes of the Condair product line. So how we can provide solutions to achieve 40 to 60% and really tailor a solution for your specific building or operation. And then, of course, we provide a certificate for attendance, and that can be used towards professional development hours. So please, if you're an agent, reach out to your RSM. And if you're not affiliated with Condair in any way, look for your local rep on our website and get in touch with them. All right, thanks everyone for joining us today. We'll see you on Wednesday at 10:30.
Have a good Monday and Tuesday.